What is going on, guys? It is Fluxified here and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the next gen version of Rust Console Edition, and specifically we're going to be diving deep into the graphical updates that we've seen so far. For those of you who don't know, the developers have been posting some comparison images on their social media, basically showing the differences between the old gen and new gen version of the game. And let me tell you, there are some quite exciting improvements overall, but there is one thing that does have me a little bit concerned. So without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about the overall graphical upgrades. Across the board, I think it's fair to say we're seeing a major improvement in texture quality and just resolution overall, really. If we look at the hazmat suit in the image here, we can see that the skins do look quite sharper in their resolution, and overall everything just looks a lot more polished. Now, while we're on the topic of skins in the next gen version, I do want to just mention that there was a question raised on Twitter by a Panzer IV, and they basically asked Pedro Silva, the community manager, if the skins will be less fuzzy at distances in the new version. And Pedro did respond and say this should be improved, so it does look like in the new version we will be able to make out the exact skin that a player is wearing from quite a further distance away. And obviously this can help in situations like if you're trying to see if it's a fight you can take and you don't know kind of what armor the enemy is wearing, so it can be quite useful, and overall it just makes the game a little bit better. There's less of that blurry look from far away, so that definitely is a good thing. And moving on, we now have a new photo where the developers have showed us a model of a wolf in airfield, and I mean, you can see the fur is massively improved. It just looks way more natural on the wolf. It's higher resolution 100% than what we have now, and I mean, I think the difference is insane. The fur itself looks so much better. It's got a 3D look to it now, whereas the previous wolf just looked really stripped down and basic. I think this is a change that will contrast to every single animal in the game as well, as obviously if it's been done for the wolf, it's reasonably likely to expect that the other animals in the game will see a similar glow up. It's really clear to see that the developers are going all out in this next gen version, and I can see that there's a lot of passion that's really been put into this. There is actually quite a few images like this the developers have already posted, and we've only recently had the reveal, so I really do think that this version is really not as far away as we think. Now, moving on to our last image, this is actually a really nice one. This is an image of a tugboat next to a lighthouse in the ocean, and what I'll do first is I'll show you the old gen version just for a moment. And now I'll show you the new gen version. And if you ever wanted a proof of concept for just how insane this next gen version is going to make Rust Console look, I think this is your picture. I mean, it just looks crazy good. I mean, look at the ocean, man. Like, you can see the reflections from the sun. The whole texture of it just looks crazy. And even the tugboat, I mean, you can just tell it's a lot higher resolution. If you specifically zoom in at the rails on the old gen picture, it looks quite fuzzy and you can't really make out what you're looking at, really. Whereas if you go to the new gen version, the rails themselves just look a lot clearer, and these things are normally indicative of a game running at a higher resolution. So I do think it's fair to say that Rust Console on next gen will run at higher resolutions than what we have currently. Okay, so I've done a bit of talking now about the good things that we've seen so far, and there are a lot of good things. The game looks so much better in this next gen version, and I'm really happy for what the devs have done, and it's clear to see that they've put a lot of love and passion into this version of the game. However, to be honest, I do have a couple of concerns, mainly just due to the lighting as shown in this clip here. And here specifically we can see a picture I showed you earlier of the next gen version of the game, and I mean, it looks good. Obviously it's a daytime shot, but what makes me a little bit nervous is that it does seem like there is a slight yellow filter to the game, and it does present me with a couple of concerns. What I'll do just to evidence this though is I will show you a screenshot with the exact same kind of shot from the PC version, and I'll put it next to the one we have of the next gen version. So if you look at the difference in each shot, it does appear like there is that kind of yellow filter over the game. Now, I just want to say, I don't know if this is taken at a different time of day. I don't know if it's more towards nighttime and that's why it's a bit darker and so on. But it is a concern I just want to raise as a passionate member of this community, as I do really hope that it is just something to do with the time of day and there's not going to be a yellow filter over this version of the game. I just think that wouldn't make it look as good as it could do if we compare it to the PC version, and I do believe I've seen a couple of people in the community bring this up as well, so I did just want to raise this as a potential concern. Separate to that though, I do just want to stress that I am super excited for this version of the game. Now it does look like we'll be getting more of these pictures. On Twitter, a user by the name of RustRaiding1 commented on one of the previous next-gen upgrade photos of the tugboat, and he said it would be sick to see the moon in the background. And Pedro did respond and say, yeah, good point, I'm sure we will see some at night. So it does look like we have more of these photos coming, and we should see some at night time as well. So overall, there's a lot to be excited for here. The developers are doing a great job of hyping up everyone for this update, and I think the more we see, the more hyped we get for sure. Just to round up this video, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support on the last video. It's been great to see so many of you hop in the comments and show some love, so I really do just want to say thank you so much for that, and as always, plenty of more videos to come, everyone. But for now, I think that just wraps up the video. Thank you for watching. I have been Fluxified, and I'll see you on the beach.